Hello everybody, my name is the Chef and welcome back to another One Piece Bounty Rush video. In today's video, I want to go over with some problems with the game and things that they can actually do to improve the game, from Anniversary moving forward. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this game and I have a lot of fun playing it. However, there are a few things that not just myself but the community has some issues with this game that can be solved relatively easily with a couple of different additions to the game. Not all of these are problems. Some of these are just suggestions that would also just be fun to have. So this is going to be the 10 things that I want to see come to the game, and also things that they can improve on for OPBR. So let's just get right into it. So the first issue I have is that they might not actually ever add some of these old kind of side quirky characters to the game. Now, that being said, I understand why. It is a business at the end of the day, and they are going to try to capitalize on the hype of current characters. There's a lot of people, a lot of fans of old units. Like, I've done a couple of character concept videos that of units that I want to see, and some of them are very old characters. Virgo, for example, Bluno from CP9. Like, they added a CP0 Lucci when we haven't even seen anything from that guy at that point. Even now, like, what has he really done? He's just kind of talked on a snail phone here and there, but they added him to the game, made him like one of the most busted characters in the game. Which, don't get me wrong, great character, great unit. I love Lucci, but like, how about adding Bluno? Like, if anything, I'd say he did more for the progression of the story than fucking Kaku or Lucci did. I mean, he was the one that like captured Robin at the time. I'm going off on a tangent here, but the point is they could add some of these older characters, and they don't always have to capitalize on hype, because there are fans of older units or characters of the series rather. Like, a problem I had was like last year when they released Kaido. The only thing that bastard did was take a couple shots out of his little flask and crack Luffy's skull open, and they just decided to make a character. They're like, okay, that's cool, we got it, man, we're gonna fucking put this character in the game. Same thing with Shanks. What has he done? The motherfucker lost his arm and he looked at a fish. He also showed up to a war. I know, that was kind of cool, but the guy has never even done a single attack other than clash with Whitebeard once, and that attack isn't even in the goddamn game. So I mean, they gotta stop doing stuff like that. I get it, it's a business, whatever, they're capitalizing on hype, but they should just give us give the fans what they want. It's not always about the current hype crap. Anyways, with that, we're moving on to the next one. So another thing I think they can do to continue improving the game, and they've done this in the past and it was really great at the time, but that would be just keep buffing older units to make them, keep them up to date, especially Bounty Fest units, because people usually go ham on those banners. They never really have upped rates or step ups, so the least they can do is just continue to buff those old units. And I've brought this example up before, but Blue Ace, he actually could be a potential relevant character if they just changed one thing from his kit, and that would be, rather than having the last 60 seconds of him getting a critical hit increase, just make it whenever your allies die. Something similar to Sabo or like Sanji, or like when your enemy captures a flag or something. Give him that critical hit increase for whatever 20 seconds or whatnot, and that unit would actually be fantastic. He would be consistently hitting hard throughout the entire match. And this, don't get me wrong, Ace is, I actually still like playing this character, but he is aged pretty terribly throughout the existence of the game. But again, if they just add something like that to him, he would actually be a pretty damn good unit, because you can actually run some of the wolf medals. He'd have healing, he'd have high damage consistently, and this is not just for Ace, this is for several other units like Kizaru. Maybe if you want to give him like a little quicker normal attacks or something of that nature as well, he would be a fantastic unit, and people might actually want to go back to these units that they were super hyped for at the time. Most gacha games do that. In this game, again, they have done this in the past, but I'd like to see more of it and see them continue to improve on these units. But with that, let's move on to the next exciting episode. No, the next number. So the third thing that they could do to help this game would be just add some of the old event medals to the shop. you know, add them to the cola shop or something, and maybe even have a, I don't know, a specific a metal shop specifically for like I don't know, a certain currency or something. Maybe you could spend bounty coins or even gems. Make it so you have to pay with gems. Who cares? A lot of people, I know it is technically a gacha game, and gacha games are like collector games. Some things are going to be like limited edition or whatever, but there is a lot of medals that are limited edition at this point, and I think it's kind of unfair to the older players. So maybe if they added something like that, you know, would potentially help increase the shelf life of this game, because other people can actually get what they want. And again, gems would be a good idea because it would be more fair since they weren't around for that time. They can spend some of their gems to get some of these, you know, rare metals or whatever. But anyways, I think it would be a pretty cool idea. With that, let's move on to the next one. And this one is probably the biggest thing I want to see happen, and not just myself, but probably everybody in the entire One Piece Bounty Rush community, is that we need a better lobby system. The friend battle thing is cool and whatever, you know, it's a good start, it's a good prototype, but they need a mode where you can just, you know, completely customize the settings. Whether you want to do a boss battle with your friends, you want to do Brawl 8 with your friends, you want to pick whatever, you know, a level cap, maybe level 100 units, set everybody to level 100. Maybe you want to have it so nobody can use medals. Maybe you want it so everybody can use their medals. Different game modes, you know, capture the, what is it called? Tons of treasures. Stuff like that, you know, like even, one that I would really want to see myself personally would be a tournament bracket style system where you can actually have like a little mini tournament, which could actually even make this game a competitive game. Which would be an amazing thing to see, because this game would actually probably explode in popularity if that was the case. And also maybe a spectator system so you can actually watch your friends while you wait. I think all of these things can be done. I mean, it's not too hard. All of these modes are already programmed into the system. They just have to find a way to make it work so you can actually customize it. And this wouldn't be the first time stuff like this has come to a gacha game. It's not like they can't do this. They have, you know, they have the ability to do it. But anyways, I hope we see this kind of stuff moving forward, because that would definitely increase the shelf life of this game. But with that, let's move on to the next thing I have to say. So a lot of people actually make this complaint when I play with them, and you know, I kind of understand where they're coming from as well, but not being able to play two of the same character in your team, like what's the point of not being able to play, like, you know, Paramount War Luffy with you know, Nightmare Luffy, for example? Like, I don't know why you can't do. I kind of understand that they want to keep it to like one character per team, but when your team has, you know, 4 Luffys on it, for example, and they're all in the field at the same time, why can't you just have 2 Luffys in your party? It just kind of it doesn't really make much sense, to be honest. And it would be a lot more fun. You could have a lot more experimental teams and whatnot, and it would just be a little bit, I don't know, I think it would just be more interesting to be able to play. And if you like really like a character, for example, why not be able to play like 2 of the same you know, physical person, but, you know, 2 of your favorite characters of that specific type? I don't know, it just doesn't really make much sense why they don't let us do that. But anyways, let's move on to the next one here. So this one a lot of people have problems with, and it would be the matchmaking system. Sometimes I find myself in games where it's completely unfair. I know party power isn't necessarily like, you know, the be all end all, like you're guaranteed getting it smashed if you have like, you know, 20,000 less party power than the other team, but it does make a slight difference, especially once it gets to like the 30 and 40,000 difference, which I've seen. And the other teams just got, you know, they're all maxed out whale team with, you know, boost 2 EXs with the crazy metal sets and whatever, and then, you know, your team's got like level 80s and level 70s. Like there should be a better system where you're kind of paired up with people of a similar level, not necessarily skill level, but just level in general. But that could be an easy fix. They would just have to do a couple, you know, a little bit of tweaking in the data and the system. But you know, I don't work for them, so whatever they're doing seems like they're happy with the results of what's going on right now. So we'll see if that ever happens. Let's move on to the next one. So the next thing I want to see adjusted is to kind of make critical hit medals a little bit more worthwhile. Like, I don't know about you, but I've never really like put a critical hit medal on any of my characters. Maybe they can adjust how the critical hit system works. Like I actually don't even really know exactly what critical hit does, other than give you a little bit more damage. If somebody can like tell me what it really does in the comments below, that would be great. But and if I'm wrong here, let me know. But I feel like if they made it so critical hit just like ignores the enemy's defense or something like that, and again, this could actually be the case, I just never really see it because nobody runs critical hit. But again, if they can make it so like critical hit just ignores target's defense, like that would be fucking fantastic, and you'd have a better reason to run critical hit medals. There are other traits on medals like negative or nullify stun chance or whatever. Those ones are fine. You'll probably never run those just because unless they're like built into the medal, like the OG Admiral medals. Like those are kind of nice because it's built into the unique traits, but to have those on the medals is kind of just like silly if you're just going to put them on as a one of your 3-star trait options there. But I want critical hit to kind of be reworked, and again, tell me if I'm wrong here in the comments below. So the next one I want to see is more seasonal characters. I don't know why they stopped. Like they just kind of didn't do any this year, from what my recollection. The first year it was out, they did Holiday Chopper, Holiday Robin. They did Nightmare Luffy and Ryuma around that time. They did the bikini units in the summertime. What happened to fucking Bikini Big Mom? 2020 would have been a lot better with Bikini Big Mom, seeing them, those big old tatas swinging around in a bikini. Somebody suggested Bikini Blackbeard the other day. I believe it was Slingshot Bikini Blackbeard, similar to Borat. That might be nice, seeing them cheeks clapping. And you might even get a glimpse of his Dark Void. I'm not talking about a skill 1 or skill 2 either. But I think the seasonal characters add just like another depth to the game, which kind of makes it fun. They could have done that this year, but they just kind of didn't. So a little bit unfortunate there, but I guess you could say Perona and Moria were released in October, I believe, but they didn't really do like any Christmas or summertime units. But yeah, I'd like to see more of these seasonal characters. They're fun. So let's move on to the next. Now this one kind of pissed a lot of people off last year, and that is the unfair treatment between JP and Global. They kind of baby the JP version, and I know that JP is like the money-making country, like Japan's the money-making country for most of these anime mobile games, so I understand, right? They're catering towards their main clientele, but it could be simply fixed just by adding the exact same stuff you do in JP to Global. Like they had I believe it was a guaranteed EX ticket or something of that nature during anniversary last year, and that pissed a lot of people off on Global, and a lot of people quit the game, and they were kind of just butthurt about the whole fiasco. But I think it would be an easy fix. Just add the exact same stuff to Global, because the games are literally on the same timeline. There's no difference. There's no like Global exclusive characters or JP exclusive. They're literally on the same timeline. So just do the exact same thing for both versions, and you will actually, you'll solve some of these problems that a lot of people have. Some people just want to buy it one and done, charge them extra for it. People will still do it. But yeah, I think that could be an easy fix for that. And let's just move on to the last step here, or the last number. So the last and final one I put at the end because it's not super important, but it would actually be kind of cool to have, would to be able to implement more stickers first of all, but also be able to implement stickers during the character select screen. So like when you have to pick your character right before the battle during that 10-second countdown, being able to communicate with your allies to ask them, kindly, which most of the time they probably wouldn't. But for example, if your team has all attackers and one person on your team has like a defender as their second unit, you can like pop a sticker that says like choose defender or something, because You can't just run all attackers. You need to defend your treasures, especially if you're getting wiped out from a team boost or something like that. If you could just communicate with them prior to the match, that would be amazing. It would actually save you, a lot of trouble, especially if, because again, a lot of people don't run dual types. They'll just run double attacker or maybe a runner, like 2 runners or whatever. But if you get that person who's actually running a defender / something else, maybe you can ask them to be a runner, maybe you can ask them to be a defender. It's just more advantageous for you to have multiple types of units on the field because, again, people have to play their roles, and once you play their roles, things are going to be a lot easier. So anyways, that concludes this list. Tell me in the comments below if you guys have, if you agree or disagree with any of this stuff, and if you have ideas of your own, also include it in the comments below because I would love to hear it. It would be pretty cool to hear your guys' thoughts on the matter. But with that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned for more of this juicy One Piece Bounty Rush content. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.